In 2022, we celebrate 130 years of HBCU football. On December 27th, 1892, Livingstone and Biddle College, now known as Johnson C. Smith University, played in Salisbury, North Carolina, with Biddle winning 5-0. Over time, HBCU football has evolved. HBCU football's popularity continues to rise. Millions attend games each year and millions more watch on television. The HBCU bands provide some of the top entertainment in the country. Over that time, some of the best players to ever play in the National Football League played at HBCUs. Every Monday through Friday on the HBCU Football Daily Podcast, national radio and television host Donal Ware takes a look at what's happening in HBCU football and talks with coaches, players, administrators, and media about the 2022 season. Make sure you join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag HBCU130. Now, here's your host, Donal Ware.
You've got it locked to the HBCU Football Daily Podcast for today, Thursday, August the 11th. I'm Donal Ware. We are 16 days away from the start of the football season. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Delaware State head football coach on yesterday. Had a great time with Rod Milstead. And so now what we're going to do, we're talking now with some of the top players in all of college football. And first up, we're going to take things to Huntsville, Alabama. And we're going to say hello to Abdul-Fatai. Let me do it right. Abdul-Fatai Ibrahim is one of the best players in the country, one of the best receivers. As a matter of fact, he's a two-time BOXTOROW All-American, has caught for over 1,000 yards in 2 of his 3 seasons. He probably didn't do it in 2021 because it was such a short season, as he joins us here on the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. Appreciate your time. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely glad to have you. Camp, how's it going? You're in Connell Maynard's camp. What is this? I guess this is your fourth camp with him. Just your thoughts on how camp is going to this point.
Camp been going real good. We've been competing well on both sides of the ball, and we're just happy to be here and happy to have another year to play football.
You know, what does it mean? And you played in the spring, right? You played in the spring of last year. So how is camp different this year? Because you were coming off that spring of, 4 or 5 games or whatever it was. You were HBCU national champions. 3 months later, you got to turn right back around and go to camp this year. Different because you've been off since, November. So how is camp different from that perspective?
Camp different from that perspective because that was just a quick turnaround from the spring until the summer. It just happened like this. But now our body's just feeling really good. We had time to rest and time to think and just time to elaborate on what we want to do this year and just continue to just work hard and just see each other and just see the goal that we're chasing.
Take me through last year, your thoughts. I know you guys didn't quite accomplish what you were trying to, but, with that being said, you still had a pretty solid season.
Last year, we started off good. I think we started off like 4-0, 5-0. Then we hit like a little stump where we lost 3 games in a row from minor mistakes. And we finished the season off on like a 3-4 game winning streak. So to me, we had a pretty decent season. Not exactly what we wanted, but we look back and we can just look at the games we lost and just correct our mistakes from there.
Yeah, how is it different this year, especially in camp, not having Aqeel Glass to throw the football to you?
It's different. I mean, Aqeel Glass been a 4-year starter here, so he learned the offense like this. So it's kind of different when we have other new quarterbacks learn the offense, and it's not as fast as we did last year. But I was looking now, all the quarterbacks are getting into the offense, and they're getting the groove, and they continue to just grow and just being the best.
Abdul-Fatai Ibrahim, he is, of course, wide receiver for Alabama A&M, 2-time BOXTOROW All-American. He's a senior from Miramar, Florida, as he joins us here on the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. How do you see yourself? How do you feel like, you're a veteran now, right? You're a senior, you're a 4th-year player. How is this camp different, and how do you see yourself kind of growing and maybe being a mentor to some of those younger receivers?
Well, I see it. It's good right now. I mean, I'm not the most vocal person, but I lead by example. Like, I might not sit here and just yell at people and just continue to get on people, but they learn from my mistakes and they continue to watch me what I do right, and they just go from there and it just flow from there. I mean, the years previously, like you said, I wasn't really a vet, so I was learning from other people. But now I just feel like the confidence, I have people depending on me, so that makes me feel like I have to do what I got to do even more to continue to just succeed through that level.
Does that force you to be more of a vocal guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to be more vocal. I'm still growing into it, but I'm just being me. I'm just leading by example, and when I'm do what I do, everybody else follow behind me.
The quarterbacks, got a couple of quarterbacks that you're working with. We talked with Coach Maynard a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't name one, which is fine, but there's a battle. Speak to that and, sort of how that battle is progressing, but at the same time, how you're getting comfortable with both of those young guys.
They're competing very well each and every day in fall camp. Is somebody they're trying to jump each other. They're trying to get past to where they was before. I mean, they learn from each other's mistakes day in and day out. And as each day goes, you can see the growth and how better they're getting. I mean, for me, I just continue to just be me. I mean, don't really matter what quarterback I have. It's just I do what I got to do, make them look good. They make me look good. And from there, we can see how it's going to go.
Speak to it. One of your teammates is an all-conference guy, all-American guy too. In Mr. Quarles, the running back. I mean, just a tremendous season last year's a preseason, HBCU All-American. Talk about him and what he brings to the table.
Oh, Gary, he's probably one of the hardest workers on the team. I mean, Gary don't lead the field. He do what he got to do, running the ball, catching the ball. I mean, he continues to surprise people because most people didn't know much of him the years before. So each and every day he surprised more people, and he continues to just do that every down, every play back that we need.
It's interesting because there's a lot of talent defensively in the SWAC, a lot of talented cornerbacks, a lot of talented safeties, and you have to go up against those guys. And you've had a lot of success over your career. Speak to the talent level defensively, but even with that, it's a lot of talent. You still have been able to excel, which shows how really great you've been over 3 years at Alabama A&M.
There's a lot of talents in the SWAC and just HBCU football, period. Like schools like, FAMU has a good defense. Grambling has a good defense. Jackson State has a good defense. I mean, it's been good. I mean, I can't really say much about it. It's just the best man win at the end of the day.
And you've been winning those battles, though.
Yeah.
That's got to feel good because, again, you're going up against not only some of the top talent in SWAC and HBCU, but some of the top talent in the country.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer of what you put in, you're going to get out of it. So, I mean, I continue to work hard, continue to just trust God and do what I got to do and be myself. And I just trust my work ethic on the field, and just that's what pays off. That's what it brings on the field.
A guy from Miramar, Florida. How did you end up at Alabama A&M ultimately?
All right. So out of high school, I wasn't highly recruited at all. I wasn't not recruited at all. I ended up walking on at Alabama A&M in 2018. I attended school in 2018, but I didn't play that season. Then that 2019 spring, then I walked on. And from there, it's just been a whole bunch of hard work and everything just been paying off for me. I mean, I just feel like this was just what God wanted me to be at the end of the day. So, I wasn't highly recruited out of high school. I didn't have no offers, but I just wanted to get a little bit away from home. Therefore, I could focus on myself, and I ended up here, and just everything else been history.
Yeah, does Coach Maynard throw some ball? He always talks about it. Matter of fact, he came on a podcast a couple of weeks ago talking about how he was out throwing Aqeel Glass, last year and all that kind of stuff. Is he throwing balls to you, man? Is he still? I mean, because he was a great quarterback back in his day.
Yeah. He always do it because Maynard, he a guy that likes to compete each and every time. Like sometimes he'll sit here and run gashes with us. He thinks he's still young. He still he can compete with us day in and day out. And one thing about it is if you let Coach Maynard win or he wins, you won't stop in his mouth about it. So he gonna always be Coach Maynard.
Man, I know you got to be looking forward to that opening day on September the 1st, a Thursday night game against UAB, an in-state rival. Going up against some, and again, it's a lot of talent in the SWAC, no doubt, but going up against some FBS talent and the FBS opponent in UAB.
Yes, I'm very excited. I mean, that's the games that the big scouts want to see. So you do what you got to do against them big guys that they're recruiting to go to the NFL. You should have a shot at least.
And then Troy the next week?
Yeah, so back-to-back games. Like, you do what you got to do, no matter how you do it. You just get the job done. You'll be good in the long end.
So, Downtime, what are you majoring in?
Biology with a sports management minor.
Wow. Well, what do you hope to do with that once your career is over? That's an interesting. How did you come about that? That's an interesting dichotomy between biology and sports management. Right?
Yeah, it's kind of spread it out. But as I was my freshman year, sophomore year, I like to see around like working in like the sports medicine field and just around that area. But as I got older and I did a lot of research, like this might not make sense, but like after it's all said and done, like I just want to be a firefighter. Like that's what I want to.
Wow. Well, okay, so that's interesting. Biology major, minor in sports management, but wants to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of different. It's kind of sound weird, but
no.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's good. Why? What made you want to be a firefighter?
I mean, just the person I am. Like, I'm a person that like don't have no trouble helping other people and just helping other people. I don't see no problem just helping other people and just lending a hand to people that need help.
Downtime, and I know it's not much of that these days with practice and meetings and school and all that, but when you have downtime, what do you like to do?
Like to chill out. We play the game, probably go bowling, but really just relax, chill, nothing too much. Probably go bowling, and play the game.
Okay, play what like video games and so forth?
Yeah, I playing Madden.
Oh, you're a Madden guy.
Yeah.
How good are you, and who do you play with when you play Madden?
I play with anybody. It don't really matter who I play with. I can play with anybody.
Okay. No, that sounds good. What's in your iPod these days? What are you listening to?
Oh, I listen to a lot of Kodak. My favorite rapper, Rod Wave, Hot Boy, Lil Baby, stuff like that. A lot of rap.
Okay. All right, because Miramar, is that closer to Miami?
Yeah, that's in South Florida. Down there.
South Florida. Okay. Rick Ross?
Yeah. Rick Ross. I got a couple Rick Ross songs in my phone. Not too much. I'm a new era guy though.
Oh, okay. So okay, yeah. I guess Rick Ross is he was sort of the previous era to now. I guess, but he's still relevant, still doing his thing.
Oh, most definitely, yes, most definitely. Ross gonna be a legend in South Florida forever.
Yeah. Before him, with Luke and all those guys, man. That was sort of during my time. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. Well. Very happy to have on the HBCU Football Daily Podcast Abdul-Fatai Ibrahim, who joins us here in the program. He's a senior. He's from Miramar. He's a two-time BOXTOROW All-American. You heard him. He's majoring in biology with a minor in sports management. And the Bulldogs open the season on Thursday, September 1st on the road at UAB, I should say. Abdul-Fatai, appreciate the time. Good luck to you and the Bulldogs this season.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. You can also listen to the podcast at BOXTOROW.com, iHeartMedia, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to get your HBCU football fix on BOXTOROW with Donal Ware each weekend on the radio station near you, and on SiriusXM on HBCU, Channel 142, and on ESPNU Radio on SiriusXM, Channel 84. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BOXTOROW for the latest in HBCU football, and don't forget to tell a friend.